Welcome to our channel. If you love legendary football moments and untold stories from the gridiron, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss our incredible content. Today, we're taking you back to one of the most legendary hits in college football history. Let's dive in. There were 75,888 folks packed inside Legion Field that October afternoon back in '86. What they carried home wasn't just a score, it was a sound. A hit so fierce, so devastating, you could feel it ripple through the entire stadium. A single play that dropped a quarterback, broke a curse, and turned a Birmingham boy into a legend. And even now, nearly 40 years later, you still hear people say, "I can still hear that hit." The day one collision echoed into eternity. 1986 wasn't just a year of big plays on the field. It was a year of brand new memories in American life. Who doesn't remember the boom of the Nintendo Entertainment System, turning living rooms into arcades? It was the year legends like The Legend of Zelda and Metroid first hit our hands, changing video games forever. But it was also a year of sorrow. In January 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded just seconds after liftoff. 1986 was the year when one play was etched into the memory of Alabama fans. But to understand that hit, you gotta roll the tape back way before '86. Cornelius Bennett was born right here in Birmingham, Alabama. Grew up in a little house where most nights supper was just biscuits and gravy. That's where the nickname stuck, Biscuit. Football wasn't just a game for him, it was the way out. Big as a lineman, fast as a sprinter, folks at Ansley High knew he was something special. When he got to Tuscaloosa in '83, it didn't take long. He wasn't the loudest voice, but teammates said everybody followed him anyway. They swore Bennett had a gift. He could smell the right moment to strike, something you can't coach, can't teach. And on that October day against Notre Dame, that gift turned a Birmingham boy called Biscuit into a legend that'll never fade. Back then, Alabama carried a heavy load. Notre Dame, 4 games, 4 losses. Felt like a curse hanging over the Crimson Tide. And Ray Perkins, the man following Bear Bryant, knew this wasn't just another Saturday in October. It was a test of character. Legion Field was boiling that afternoon. Over 75,000 fans waving crimson, radios pressed to ears. Autumn sun beating down on every bleacher. Out there on defense, wearing number 97, stood Cornelius Bennett. He wasn't the loudest, he wasn't the flashiest, but when he put that hand in the dirt and came flying off the edge, it was like he carried the fury of the whole crowd in his legs. The clock ticked, the game was tight, and you could feel it. Fate was fixing to show itself. First quarter, ball in Notre Dame's hands. Quarterback Steve Borland drops back, rolls to his right, eyes downfield, but from the blind side, no one calls out a warning. Number 97's already coming like a crimson missile. Cornelius Bennett exploded through that line with fury, every step shaking the ground. For just a heartbeat, time froze. The whole stadium held its breath. And then the sound. A crack so sharp, so brutal, it echoed clear across Legion Field. Folks still swear it wasn't just heard, it was felt deep in your chest, like thunder rolling through your bones. Steve Borland hit the turf, dazed. Later he'd say, "I saw mouths moving, but I heard no voices." From that moment on, it wasn't the same ball game. That hit had changed everything. After that, nothing felt the same. The whole stadium let out a roar so loud, folks swear Legion Field shook like it was made of steel and concrete. The defense came alive. Every snap felt heavier. Every tackle carried the weight of that one play. Soon the tide turned. Greg Richardson took a punt all the way back. Mike Shula started throwing darts, and Notre Dame looked lost out there. Coach Ray Perkins said later, "On offense, we were ordinary, but on defense, we were great." But numbers don't tell you the truth. It was the feeling. Every turnover, every stop felt fueled by the echo of that single collision. The sack wasn't just a play. It was the match that lit the fire. Long after the final whistle, folks knew they had seen something more than football. That sack wasn't just a play, it was a statement. Alabama finally broke the spell against Notre Dame, and it came on the back of a boy from Birmingham who once only had biscuits and gravy on the table. Steve Borland, the quarterback who hit the ground that day, still remembers it clear as yesterday. He said, "I saw mouths moving, but I heard no voices. That's how hard the blow landed." The hit became so legendary, artist Daniel Moore painted it on canvas, a rare honor for a defensive play. And if you talk to fans who were there, they'll tell you the same thing. They didn't just see it, they felt it. Over the years, plenty of games have come and gone. Wins, losses, heartbreaks, miracles. But ask any Bama fan what stands above the rest, and sooner or later, you'll hear about the sack. And now it's your turn. Were you there in '86? Do you remember where you were when Bennett came flying off that edge? Maybe you were watching on a little TV in your living room. Maybe sitting next to your daddy or your granddaddy. Maybe listening on the radio with friends at the hunting camp. Tell us what you remember. Tell us who you were with. Tell us what came rushing back the first time you saw that replay. Because that's the power of this game. It ain't just about the score. It's about the sound, the moment, and the people we shared it with. One October afternoon in 1986, 75,888 voices held their breath, and one collision, one sound rolled through time straight into the heart of Alabama football forever. That's the story of one of the most legendary hits in college football history. What did you think of Cornelius Bennett's incredible moment? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into football history, smash that like button and subscribe for more amazing stories from the world of sports. Ring that notification bell so you never miss our latest content. Until next time, keep celebrating the legends of the game.